What's going on, guys? I hope you are doing well. It is 1:24 p.m. Central Standard Time where I'm at. This is actually the second time I'm recording this video. I totally messed up and I was literally recording the wrong screen. I was recording my Ordinals wallet account the entire time as opposed to actually recording the charts that I was looking at. Anyway, I'm going to get right into it really fast. I'm going to do really quick as opposed to what I'm usually accustomed to, so I'm just going to streamline through this one. But anyway, SPX is looking phenomenal. So for, I don't even know how long, pretty much I've declared this uh, descending broadening wedge pretty much since February when I confirmed the top side and bottom side support and resistance all the way back here, literally in February. All right, now we are actually seeing this descending broadening wedge break to the upside. Now I've stated 83% of the time these descending broadening wedges break to the upside, and they usually not only go to the top, which is at 4,179.75, but they usually overperform. Now, we do have a lot of resistance levels here to go, but if we can create a higher high, I think that would be significantly phenomenal. Now, I was a little concerned when we broke back down this daily support level, which is indicated by this thick downward sloping line of support right here. But ultimately, we did get this descending broadening wedge support right here that made me think, oh, okay, it's just the whale bears manipulating the price to freak people out, which they successfully did. A lot of people unfortunately sold the bottom. Anywho, all right, let me just add some thickness to that line here. So currently, we did create a local low right here and a local higher low right here. I did mention that a couple days ago, and since then we've just been ripping to the upside. Now, what would make me that much more bullish? Frankly, a back test of this line as support. I would not feel bad if we would just go sideways and down for a week or two to establish strong support here to then rip to the upside. All right. Um, yeah, ultimately, S&P 500 is looking phenomenal at this time in a short-term perspective. And yeah, the bull case is still alive and well for the S&P 500. And now the reason I focus on the S&P 500 realistically is because it is like a precursor for the crypto market. Now the charts don't always look 100% alike, but usually that is a strong indication that yeah, money flows strong in the tech sector, and money in the tech sector flows into the crypto sector. It is synonymous with one another. Anyway, so let me check out dominance here. So we've been getting slight fake outs to the upside and to the downside of this general range here. So we had a fake out area right here, we had a fake out area right here. Ultimately, now this isn't necessarily a bad thing. This sideways price action is actually pretty good and indicative of a healthy overall crypto market. It just shows that yeah, we are getting strong investments in Bitcoin, but we're also getting strong investments in altcoins. So we're having a nice little balance in regards to the total market cap of crypto kind of slowly ratcheting up. So I'd like to see that. It's not necessarily one-sided. There's investments going on in both, you know, major altcoins of significance, ones that do have some quote-unquote staying power into our ecosystem, but then we also have strong investments into the security layer, which is Bitcoin. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that, and then I'm going to go to the Bitcoin market patterns right here. Okay, so I noticed last night, I believe, we got a wick top to the upside. When I see wick tops like that, I do like to do Fibonacci levels, and I was expecting a 0.382 bounce, and right to the dang couple dollars right here, we did get that pivot, and we're actually back above the exponential moving averages. Now, we are in a general uptrend, which is phenomenal. Now, rising channels do break bearish. Let me rephrase that actually. 60% of the time, these rising channels break to the downside. Now, 40% of the time, they break to the upside. So, why do I feel more bullish than bearish at this time? Is actually because of the Fibonacci levels. So, usually, if we do have a reversal at the 0.32 or the 0.618, in this instance, we had a reversal at the 0.382, it's most likely that we're going to be eventually hitting the 1.618 mark, which is up here at the 30.8K levels. So overall though, I do see these lines converge the top side resistance converge all the way up here. So realistically, we could see this happen over time. Um, at the latest, I would make an argument that maybe the 9th or yeah, the 10th of May, we could see that top side, that 1618, that 1.618 mark tested. But it's not, crazy to assume, hey, like maybe we get an exuberant pump to the upside and, this happens before that. Ultimately, I am pretty macro bullish in regards to Bitcoin and what's happening in the markets. Um, that diamond pattern was pretty gnarly in regards to not getting broken. I mean, this level here was a key level. This area right here was so important to maintain a support, to maintain the bull case, and yeah, on the 4-hour time frame, it held. I stated this in the last couple videos, but the Bollinger Bands did hold up as support. We did get wick attempts to try to break it, but the buyers were just too strong, and since then we've been ripping to the upside. And since then, the exponential moving averages have flipped from resistance to support. Really interesting signs here. Now I was on the 2-hour because I like to actually check out the 2-hour crosses, especially with like altcoin pairs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, uh, it's looking pretty strong at this time. Ultimately, horizontal levels are more important. I put a lot of emphasis on horizontal levels. So as long as 26.7K is held as support, I am pretty much bullish. Now we do have some top side resistance here, but we did create a higher high from the previous high. So I would ultimately expect that higher low, and this could be that higher low. This could be that local higher low instance. Okay, so I'm going to move on to Ethereum here. I feel like that was enough data for Bitcoin. My macro sentiment is, higher lows, higher highs. That's my kind of overall assessment at this time. So Ethereum here, we do have key levels that we have sustained above. We have maintained 1,588. It looks like we've currently flipped 1,669 as support as well. And so far we did get that got that low, then we got that higher low. So that is indicative of a bullish trend. Now we did get that high, and that higher high. So as long as we're able to maintain higher highs and higher lows, that is indicative of a positive upwards trend, a strong one at that. All right, so now I'm going to go into ETH versus Bitcoin. ETH versus Bitcoin at this time is looking rather choppy, which is not bad at all. But I just wanted to show you guys that the super trend right here is actually starting to look a little bit more bullish. I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually saw a relief rally. Now, keep in mind, if I zoom out here, pretty much we've been in a downtrend for some time here. I'm going to go back to the daily time frame. Ever since we broke out of this triangle pattern, it's been pretty much the bull's case for Bitcoin and not necessarily Ethereum. Now, it doesn't mean that Ethereum isn't doing well. It just means that more money is pumping into Bitcoin, and it's just a safer asset overall. And not only that, it's growing rather substantially in terms of percentage gains. But at this time, I am suspecting, because the 2-hour cross that we just had right here, to actually get a little bit more of a rally and a little bit more of an ETH catch-up. Now, ultimately, I would fear resistance at this level, which is roughly 7% out of the way. So I would fear that, and basically ETH bulls have to do a lot to really break this previous high right here. But I am suspecting somewhat of a rally given what I'm seeing at this time. Alts are looking kind of juicy. I'm not gonna lie here. So far we did, unfortunately, for Litecoin. I'm just gonna skip to Litecoin here. We did lose the point 618, so I would maybe suspect a test of the 0.382 area before we see any significant moves to the upside. But ultimately, the 1618 level is roughly I would say 27% away. So when this asset decides to pivot, I do feel that ultimately we will create, uh, that higher low to then kind of push the Litecoin asset higher, and at significant paces versus Bitcoin. Keep in mind, versus Bitcoin, not the US dollar, versus Bitcoin. All right, so I'm going to check out Solana here. Man, I'm actually doing some good time. Last video was like 23 minutes. This is only 10. Nice. All right, so this downward sloping line, this downward sloping channel did break, and I did mention 21.347 as a key resistance level, so I wasn't necessarily expecting anything pretty much to happen. But what we did get was a continued back test of this line as support, this downward sloping blue line right here. I'm going to make it slightly thicker so you know what I'm talking about. That one. All right. So in this instance, it looks like we've had the opportunity to create a higher low. So we got that low, got that higher low, very good indicative signs of a higher push to the upside. Now, my line in the sand is 21.347. Once we break that, maybe like a 4-hour candle close, oh man, I would expect prices to go back up to these levels because downward sloping channels, how downward channels work is usually when price breaks them, price usually goes back to the top, which at this time it is this level. So I'm eventually expecting $24 of this asset. Now, given that we are in a Fibonacci level, I would ultimately eventually expect the 1.618 to get hit, which is roughly at $28.8. So at this time, I am looking at altcoins as assets to swing, given that the trend is showing higher lows at this time. So that's kind of like where my assessment is. I'm actually looking into altcoins a little bit, a little bit more riskier, a little bit more safer, not financial advice. It's just kind of like what I'm doing. I feel pretty confident in my Bitcoin position. I feel pretty confident in my ETH position. So I'm happily taking some profits off of those and then kind of swapping them into altcoins ultimately to kind of get a little bit of this pivot price action. Anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for your time. If you're still here, I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. This channel is like methodically growing, and I haven't done any advertisements on this. I haven't really reached out to anybody, I just like seeing my friends kind of watch these and ultimately kind of hopefully get a better assessment of how the market's flowing, and hopefully I can save you all some money or uh, you know maybe give you a better assessment on like how to read charts and stuff like that. That's ultimately the goal with this channel. So just want to say thank you so much. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe with your friends. Yeah, and also if you want me to do any particular coins, feel free to add them into the description or just to DM me directly via Twitter. I am RG Coding on Twitter. Yeah, I should probably add that in the description later. But anyway, thank you so much for your time. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.